Good evening, Bob. How are you today?
I'm great. How about you, boss? How's
I'm
it going?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So a real pleasure to have you again.
It's a pleasure to be back.
So how was the day so far?
Fantastic day. I woke up.
Lovely, lovely. So, Bob, how's things going on these days? What you been doing since we last spoke?
Well, since we last spoke, as you know, the both the Unearthed and 87 CDs came out, and it was a great success. They both sold extremely well, and as far as I know, both copies are sold out. So, but that's okay because this coming Halloween, both of those titles will be released on Halloween Day.
Beautiful. Amazing.
Halloween Day. It markets itself. You can't beat it. And while we're talking about that, the pre sales, I just got confirmation today from the record label. The pre sales will be up and running on September 27th. That's a Friday.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to order the vinyl version of On Earth and the vinyl version of 87. So a lot of great things to look forward to.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, Bob, Unnut LP and 87 EP, as you said, it's going to come out in vinyl. So, is there something special added to this edition, or is it just the same thing that you have already released?
Um, I don't think so. I think well, the with 87, the CD version of Unearthed, I should say, had the Night Hunter music in it,
Yeah,
but it was released separately as well. But this time around, Night Hunter's music will not be on the Unearthed collection. So it's complete separation of the two.
gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Yes, so, I mean, it's fantastic because, it's funny we're talking about vinyl because 40 years ago, Keith, 40 years ago, I made my first appearance on vinyl. And here we are in 2024 talking about Bob Mitchell on vinyl again. I'll tell you, it's a great time to be Bob Mitchell. It really is. 40 years later, it's come full circle. It's a fantastic thing. I feel very blessed and I couldn't be happier.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And did you get a copy of the vinyl so far? Or you're yet to.
No, not just yet. I'm still waiting for the label to email me the layout of the inserts and the covers and all that. So I'm just waiting on that. So, but I'll tell you, I can't wait to hold that in my hand.
Absolutely,
It's going
absolutely.
to be a wonderful day. Halloween Day 2024 will be a great day.
Beautiful, fantastic, fantastic. So, Bob, for people who are not aware of Anyat, would you like to tell a bit about Anyat? I know it is all your past works with Black Star, Wicked Sin, Mind Assassin, Sleepy Hollow, and with other stuff. So, would you like to tell the fans and to the people who are not aware of what Anyat is all about?
Sure, I'd be very happy to. The Unearthed collection covers bands that I fronted that never got released. Demos, more or less, between 1986 to 2016. And I did all these recordings, excuse me. It's the age catching up. I did all these recordings. Try it again. I did all these recordings, between that time, but also in between all of the albums that I have come known to be on. So I've been recording consistently since 1983, and I did my final recording in 2020. 20 was my last recording, and it was for the Hounds of Hasselvander, and that was the absolute last thing I did. Haven't done anything since, but I'll tell you, Keith, it's quite a career. I mean, for an underground guy, I didn't do so bad.
You did an awesome work, Bob. You are a legend.
Thank you so much. You know, it's been a blessing to do what I've done for all these years, and it's nice to know that I've left behind all of this music for so many to enjoy. So, and now with the vinyl versions of Unearthed and 87, you know, if you count all the releases that I have been on, and that includes box sets, picture discs, what have you,
Mm.
vinyl and CD and cassette, I'm featured in a total of 44 commercial releases. That's pretty good. It's exhausting. And boy, am I tired, I'll tell you. But no, it's been great. And I've been blessed to be with great musicians throughout the years and make some good music and play some great live shows and made so many friends and so many fans. And, it's just been fantastic. I can't say any more about it.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Bob would like to tell a bit about 987. So I know you want to separate it from Unnet. So can you tell a bit about this EP on 87?
Sure, Night Hunter 87. That music is our songs that Jim Mooney and I had written originally for the follow up to Battle at Helm's Deep. But of course, as we all know, I left first and then Jim left after me. When he saw I was serious about not coming back, he left. And then he and I took the four songs that we had written, we tightened them up and polished them up, went into the recording studio, and we did the four songs. Now, the other thing you may not know, or probably don't know because I never said anything, is we had actually written six songs and we were going to do a cover song. So we decided just to stick to the four original songs and scrap the cover song. So, but the four songs went missing for many, many, many years after we recorded it because after we recorded the Night Hunter, now an EP, we went out and we played out for like 2 years straight. And I recall doing the Bayonne Music Festival. And when we come off stage, it was Jim's idea
Mm.
to discontinue the group because he felt as though record labels were not having any interest in Night Hunter. And, I was like, well, we should just keep going. Something will pop up because we were doing great as far as the live front is concerned. But he wasn't having it. So I respected his wishes and we shelved it. And then that was it. It wasn't heard from again. But it was the fans. The fans are the ones that wanted to hear this. And I felt obligated to bring it back and continue the legacy that Jim and I started with Battle at Helm's Deep. And finally, our music was put onto CD and now, rightfully so, on vinyl. And I think if Jimmy was still here, he'd be very proud and very happy.
Yeah,
So,
beautiful. And are you in touch with any of the past members of the bands?
of Night Hunter,
Night Hunter and all the other bands that we name, both Night Hunter and Earth.
not really. The only one that I have sustained a friendship with is my drummer from Night Hunter, Tommy Akel. He's the only other surviving member of the band, but through the years, he's been with me in other projects, and he's been a tremendous friend. And you don't make too many friends in this business, But Tommy Akel is definitely one of them. And as far as everybody else, well, I was in a band with them and we did great things, but there's no friendship. But that's show business, that's just
Mhm.
how it goes, There's no ill will. And again, I was very fortunate and very blessed to have been in a band with all these guys. But as far as friends, nah, that ain't happening.
Mhm.
So, but there's no regrets either. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And since you said you are releasing both the vinyls on Halloween's day, do you have any special plans for Halloween?
Well, after the albums come out, I'm gonna go out with my kids and go trick or treating. About it. It's Halloween day. I can't stay home. I got children. I got a dog. We got to go get free candy. So it's going to be fun either way. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a beautiful day.
Absolutely. And any other future plans for any of your works that's coming up?
Not right now. No, there's nothing else. I mean, I got some things laying around, but I don't think anything worth releasing. So we'll see what happens. Let's see how these two records do. I think they're going to do really, really well. So, and I'm happy with that. Like I said, I began with vinyl 40 years ago, and now I end with vinyl. What happens next? Who knows? The only thing I can say is that from this point on, I'm going to do nothing but live and enjoy my life and look back on the career I've had and just be proud and happy with it.
Okay. And
The other thing, too, getting back to former band members, like I said, there's no friendships there, but it's also a good thing because I see so many bands now, you know, uh, the more veteran acts like the Guess Who and Journey, and they're all fighting and they're all growling at each other. I'm like, I don't want to be at advanced age fighting with people that I don't live with. You know what I mean? Who needs that headache? So I'm glad. I have my one friend, Tommy Akel. We say hello. That's it, nothing big. And it's a beautiful thing. And I'll always say he's the greatest drummer I've ever had. So that's really it. I'm happy otherwise, really.
nice.
Outside of music, I have a ton of friends. So it's not like I'm not without. And I have family and I have my dog. So, what else would I need?
Yeah, I totally understand. Awesome, awesome,
And
awesome.
if you can't tell, I'm happier than I've ever been. So life is good, my friend. It really is.
That's more important, Bob. That's more important. And the last time when we spoke, we even spoke about new music, that will ever you make new music, and you said that you're not at all interested in coming up with new music going forward. But is it still the same, or do you have plans for the future?
No, I have no interest. I'm retired and I'm happily retired. And to go back to that hectic life, there's no way. They say in life you try everything once. Well, I did all that once. And I had a stroke once.
Yeah.
No more. No more. Uh, from this point on, it's living, it's enjoying myself, and I get to withhold memories not only here, but here in my heart. So, I mean, like I said, for an underground guy, I had a pretty good career in music. So it's all good. But no, there's no plans to return.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
The thing is, I have to be respectful of my decision. And I also have to be respectful of my fans too. I mean, I'll give you an example. There was a time, remember the comedian Stan Laurel of Laurel and Hardy?
Yeah.
Okay. He was once asked, and he was at an advanced stage at this point. He was once asked, Stanley, why don't you come back? And he says, well, I want the children to remember me as I was, not how I am now. And I feel the same sentiment. I want my fans to remember me as I was, you know? Not that I'm bad now, but why go back to something I already did? I think I said in our last interview, it's kind of like going to dinner with your ex-wife.
I know.
By the time you get the bread, you figured out why you hate each other. So, why go back to that? The key to life is to move forward. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm happy to do this interview with you. I mean, interviews I will do forever. I love doing this stuff. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful, Bob. And Bob, I want to know a little bit about the times when you really worked on these demos of all these bands that you feature on Unearthed. So do you remember those times? Any special moments about those days that happened when you were recording these songs?
When we did the Night Hunter sessions, that was a special time because down the hall from us was Mr. Lenny Kravitz. And at the time, he was recording the what eventually became Let Love Rule, which became an enormous hit for him. But we got to meet him, you know. He was down the hall from us and we're doing our thing. And he came in, he popped his head in, and he asked if he could sit and listen. And we said, sure. And we went down the hall and listened to what he was doing. So long and short of it, I heard Let Love Rules before it came out. He was just working on it. He was a great guy, as I recall. He liked the band. And the one thing he said about my voice, he's sitting there listening to me. And he says, you know who you remind me of? And I was like, no, who? He goes, Arthur Brown. I was like, no way. He goes, yeah, all that screaming and crazy stuff you're doing. He said, you remind me of Arthur Brown. And I thought it was the greatest compliment. And Lenny was such a great guy. I remember after we were done with our recording session, he was coming in for his. But before all that, we went across the street for Chinese food and we had dinner together. So Lenny was a great guy. I don't know if he'll remember me or not, but he was a super nice guy. When he had success, I was so happy for him. But during that time of Night Hunter, we spent a lot of good times with Mr. Lenny Kravitz, and I'll never forget it.
Amazing.
So that Night Hunter EP is very special because Lenny was there and he listened to it before anybody. That's pretty cool. I wonder if I could reach out to him and get him a copy. But no, he turned into a great success story in music, and from what I understand, he's still a great guy. He hasn't changed much, and his mother was a famous television actress. She was on that show, The Jeffersons. She played the neighbor who was married to the white guy. So her name is Roxy Roker. And Lenny was great. I mean, I'll never forget that. But yeah, that's really a standout moment for me. So
Amazing. And taking a walk through your career of music, so what do you consider as one of the best and the greatest times during the entire history of your career?
I think performing in Europe was the best. I mean, the first time I went there was in 2000 and oh, hold on, 2004, 20 years ago. First time I went to Europe, and I had no idea. I was fronting the band Attacker once again, and we played the Keep It True festival, and I had no idea. I'm like, are we going to bomb? Or are they going to know who we are? Well, as soon as they said, they introduced us on stage, there was a roar like I've never heard before from the crowd. And when we went up, it got louder. And we did a whole set, and that crowd was crazy. And I had no idea that people cared that much. And at that time, it was 20 years. And I was really blown away by it. And performing in Europe for that time was amazing. And I remember going back to Europe after 2004. We went back in 2005, 6, 7, and 8. So for that whole time, every year, I was in Europe performing. And it was great. And I made so many fantastic friends, not just the artists, but, the fans as well. There's no greater place in the world to perform in than Europe, because European fans, they never forget. And I'll never forget the ovations and how loud they were and enthusiastic. And you know what it's like, you write a song, and years later, you go out and perform it, and thousands of people are singing your song back to you. It's an amazing feeling. I remember doing Disciple, and I had stopped singing, put the mic out to the crowd, and they sang the rest of the song. Well,
It is
I
a
forgot,
beautiful moment.
I forgot the words. So,
Hmm.
no, but they just sang it top of their lungs. They finished. It was amazing. I'll never forget it. So,
Beautiful moment.
it was a beautiful thing. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not friends with that band, but I tell you, the magic we had could never be measured, and I'm grateful for that. So it's a good thing.
Fantastic, fantastic. And have you regretted anything that like you wish you had done in the past?
No, no, because I wouldn't have not had the career I've had. So I mean, it was. I mean, there was infighting with bands or whatever. We didn't get along, but that's show business. You tell me one band that actually likes each other. Not too many.
Yeah.
Not too many. Maybe Paul McCartney and Ringo. That's about it. But I have absolutely zero regrets. I mean, we got to play on some great stages. We played with some great bands, and we co-headlined with so many of them, and so many of them went on to greater success. And I'm happy for them, because I was there with them. We were there from the jump start, the gate, before that gate opened and it went crazy. So I'm proud to have been there, and I'm also proud to have been a part of that scene back in the 1980s. A lot of people talk about the 80s, and I look at them like, no, no, that's not how it goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was a special time, and I've had a special career, and I wouldn't change a thing.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I know you are constantly in touch with your fans. Do you get some kind of request from the fans these days?
No, basically, it's more or less like, how am I doing? Is everything good? How's the family? Congratulations on your releases. I have them. Um, or they'll ask me about a certain album. When you did this, what were you doing? Stuff like that. And we talk about other things other than music, which is a wonderful thing. So a lot of my fans got to know me, the guy, not the singer, but the guy. And that to me is just as important. So, and I've never shut anybody away. I never, said to anyone, I have no time for you.
Mm.
I have bands that come to the house looking for advice on what to do, what not to do. And I'm happy to do that for them. Just lend them my expertise. Whether they take the advice or not is on them. But I'm happy to share stories and give my opinion on things. It's a beautiful thing. So,
Yeah. Mm.
and it's not going to stop. I want it to continue. So, anybody watching this, you can contact me through Facebook. I'm not hard to find.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I know you are a retired musician, but do you give some kind of vocals training to any of the new singers coming up?
No, I haven't. I was always self taught. I never had any training ever. What I did was I watched and I pay attention. And then I would get pointers. Oh, you do this, you do that. So I would take those pointers and I would utilize them, but I never took any formal lessons. No.
But- And will there be any kind of signing session for the upcoming vinyls?
I think I'm going to set something up soon. Yeah. Where? I don't know. But yeah, it's going to happen. I will have copies, and I may do a small event where fans can come and I can meet them and say hello and sign some vinyls for them. So, but it doesn't have to be these. If you got stuff of mine from the past, you could bring that down too. I'm always willing to participate and say hello.
Wonderful, wonderful, Bob. Wonderful.
Yep.
Wonderful, Bob. And Bob, would you like to give some kind of message for the fans around the world?
I love you all. Because of you, I'm here. All of you are an extension of my family. I think I've said that before, but it's true. I will always say that. I have my children, my wife, my family. I love them so much, but my fans are an extension of that because they were there first.
Yeah.
So they will always be my number one.
Beautiful, beautiful, Bob. And Bob, I have to say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity again to talk about your upcoming vinyl on 187 by Night Online.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate you having me on your show. This is great.
Always a pleasure, Bob, and really looking forward for the vinyls. I really hope a lot of fans will get the touch of 187 very soon. And
Halloween Day.
yeah, on Halloween's Day. And I wish you all the best. And I'm really will be glad to talk to you once again with some more new things that's coming up.
Oh, absolutely. I got some things in the fire, so I'll let you know real soon.
Awesome, awesome, Bob. Awesome, Bob. Nice meeting you again. And thank you
Great
so
to see you as well. Thank you all for watching, and I hope I didn't bore you too much.
Not at all. Wow. Take
I'm
care,
just
Bob.
I'm just glad I remembered.
You're
Keith, you
awesome.
take care. Thank you, my friend. God bless you.
God bless you too, Bob. Take care and have a great evening.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.